Hello, everyone, and welcome to Serenity's Unfiltered podcast number 11. It's been a couple months, but we are back. We have a very cool and exciting, different kind of episode for everyone. We had a class back in February 11th, I think it was, and we had a guest speaker, Johnny Stellato. If you don't know who Johnny Stellato is, he works with Redken. He's kind of like a motivational speaker for hair salons. We'll put up some pictures. You can kind of see that. You'll see kind of the setup as well. So it was very exciting, very fun, and we learned a lot. So let's go ahead and get into some intros, and we can kind of discuss that a little bit. So let's go ahead and start over here. Why don't you start with your name, how long you've been with Serenity, and what you do here?
Hi, guys. My name is Amelia Sains, and I started at Serenity as one of the front desks in July, and I started assisting in September. And as of this week, I am going to be a level 1 hairstylist.
All right. Very awesome.
My name's Rebecca, and I have been with Serenity for, four and a half years now? 4 years? Where are we at?
4 and a quarter.
We'll say
Yeah,
four and a half.
Quarter.
I am, as of today, a level 4 hairstylist here at Serenity.
Woo-hoo.
Hi, I am Larissa. I have been a stylist here at Serenity for almost 2 years in July.
All right.
I am Elisa Navarrete, and I have been a stylist for 4 and a quarter, 4.5 years here.
All right.
That sounds so funny hearing only 4.5 years. It's like a 20-year,
My
career.
span is so much longer than that.
I am Aaron. I am part owner, and I've been with Serenity since we opened 4.5 years ago as well. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right. Thank you.
Round of applause for everyone.
Yes. All right. So before we get into the main stuff, is there anything you guys want to add about who Johnny is, the impressions he left immediately, stuff like that? Anything you want to add?
Very mind-changing for me. The way I look at a lot of things has just really, it's things that you hear all the time. It was just, I guess he helped me put it into perspective. He helped me organize it in a different way. And I've been able to utilize a lot of what he has said and a lot of what Redken has said and implement that into my business. And I just feel like a lot more of a powerful woman, a lot more clear-cut decision. Like I make a decision and there's no insecurities behind it. I am okay with the decisions that I make. And if the outcome isn't what I expected, I'm also okay learning from that outcome. And I guess it's not just Johnny, it's Redken and Johnny, right? Like a lot of that branding is very similar, and I hear it from both ends, but I think just having it from Johnny and the team of Serenity was like just mind-blowing. Definitely put things into a better and healthier perspective as a family unit here at Serenity.
Yeah, I know when you said that you were going to have Johnny come in, I didn't know who he was, but when you said he's a motivational speaker, especially for salons, I thought that was really cool because I'm not saying easy, but it's simple. I don't want to say simple either, but I guess it's standard that you would have someone come in and teach hair, right? To work on a mannequin, but having someone like Johnny come in could really help associates or really help front desk or help me. So it's kind of cool. And that's kind of why we want to do this podcast. And we'll probably do podcasts when we have other guest artists in as well. But Johnny hit a whole nother level, I think, for us that we're probably not going to get with anyone else. And so it's nice to do this because it kind of rehashes with us. Oh, yeah, he did talk about this. Oh, yeah, he did talk about this. So we keep it going for another month. And if we keep playing this online or maybe even in the salon, it's going to keep going for a long time.
And we want to thank all of our clients that do purchase products here in-house because as a salon company, we take 100% of that profit as salon owners, and we put that towards our staff's education. So most places will have an entry fee for a guest artist or, they charge them to attend any type of classroom setting or education setting. Here at Serenity, anything that you purchase from us, if there's a 10% profit or a 15% profit, all of our profit, 100% of it goes towards our staff's education. Not only do we pay for their education, but then we also pay them to attend the education. And so the salon takes a hit because we close down a day, but our staff is still getting paid whatever their wages are, plus the free education. So thank you again for supporting our small business, because truly, I don't think that we would be able to do that without you guys purchasing products. So Johnny came in because you guys made a difference too.
Yes, that's pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. So, what was everyone's top takeaway from Johnny? And then, kind of some secondary questions. How have you applied it to work, and have you applied it to your personal life? So, let's start kind of with what's the top takeaway? What's something you remember?
Oh my gosh.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
I guess he had so much like phenomenal things to say, but I think it's just his delivery and how he simplifies it, and just to like, it's all in like such a loving tone and not like a judging tone, or, you know, like
Not attacking.
aggressive or not at all. His delivery is just so
It was
like,
so amazing. Everybody
gentle
apparently
that you
shows up
don't
at 8:45.
you don't feel judged at all for just being human and having those moments, and of like, we all, you know, it's a mindset. Every career, you need a strong mindset to hit goals, to show up daily, to perform. And especially in the service industry where you're giving all day long and your cup gets empty pretty quick. And so without that strong mindset, you know, you can feel pretty defeated and not feel like, you know, you have anything else to give. And with him, just his delivery and everything and all of his encouragement is just like, it's just filled with so much love, and just like he truly cares about the people he is training and about their future. And that's hard, not like, you can't attend something that he's leading without being open-minded and wanting to like go home and apply it in your work life, personal life, or, you know, all around. So I think for me, it was just like, any conversation I have, try to approach it with love. And if I don't, that's okay. I'm human, but like, regroup, try to like start fresh. And in those frustrating moments, like, just take a beat and know why you're having that conversation, why you're doing it, and are you approaching it from like a good place and with good intention, you know? And that was huge for just life in general.
Yeah. So I first saw Johnny when we went to the Redkins rack event in January, and he spoke in our class for probably maybe like 20 minutes. And you could just tell right away, this seems like a really good dude. Like, he seems like a really good person. And, you know, he's probably not doing too poorly for himself, but not because for the money, because he genuinely believes in what he does, and he's rewarded for it.
He's changing lives
pretty cool.
too. Like,
He is.
you cannot attend one of his classes and not be affected.
It's not like just hair, you know. It's like it's not even about hair at all, you know. It's just motivation, you know. You could tell he actually cares, and kind of like what you were saying. It like, I literally wrote down what he said, like, change your mindset and you will change your life.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's so real.
I've told myself that multiple times since his class. And I'm like, all right, back, change your mindset, change your life.
Or like how you were saying too, or I think you said it one time, like, take the 24 hours. Like, if you're not in the mindset to have that conversation, or something's bothering you, take 24 hours and then approach it, you know, because sometimes we say things when we're mad or we're frustrated, or, you know, it's good to like, and I've been trying to work on it. You know, it's not easy to just do that right away. It takes time, but
Change takes time, and I think that we have to all give ourselves grace, because if change was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard to change no matter what it is that you're changing. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it's not, right? Change is not easy, and it's not easy being uncomfortable with that change, because you have to be so vulnerable. And I think that's why a lot of people don't accept change very well, is because there's a vulnerability that has to happen. You have to like peel all the layers back, become vulnerable before you can start building up again. And it's not easy, but it starts with recognition, right?
Yeah. What was it he said about change? He was like, there's a process to healthy change. And typically in your life, like your childhood or something, something could have happened that change made you feel like lost or confused, and you didn't have the right answers that came along with why change was happening. And like you will forever revisit that trauma in some sense when change happens, and you'll want to protect yourself and put up walls and guard yourself, when if you just have the proper explanation as to why change is happening, and it brings comfort, and it's okay, and it's easier to accept like the vulnerable moments and things that come with change and growth. But yeah, if you're not changing, you're not growing. So it has to happen.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah. What about you, Larissa? What's like the top takeaway that you remembered?
My top takeaway. Okay, I have like two, and they were like mainly I remember the cute stories he told. I know that's probably like
He had some of the sweetest stories of him and his
what I
wife.
remember.
And just,
And I think
Yeah.
he said something specifically like when he met his wife, like, you know, had he done something else, he would have never met her. So like things come to you when you're ready for them, not when you want them, but like when you're ready for them, you will get like what you're supposed to get.
Yeah, that
kind of thing.
timing.
You know what I mean? Like timing. And the other thing about Sister Barbara.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was
Barbara.
one that's and I was like, everyone has a Sister Barbara, you know, that little like devil on your shoulder that always wants to tell you like you're not good enough or this and that, like all those negative thoughts. And like same thing about like changing your mindset, right? Like get out of here, Sister Barbara. Okay.
Yeah.
That did
Yeah.
That
I
was
like that analogy, or not the analogy because it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He like would go through things and he have her voice in his head.
Yeah.
And
We all have that.
We all have that one person that somewhere made us feel not good enough, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think for me, the big thing was that I thought was always cool. And I guess I kind of said it, but maybe you don't know the right verbiage to do it. But if you're not going to play 100% and get off the field,
Yeah.
right? Like whatever you do it with 100% effort. And if you're not ready for 100% effort, maybe, and he's kind of said this in another way, is like, it's not your time.
It's not your time, or
not your
step
time.
down so somebody can step up, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean you can't play on this team. You just can't play on this team right now.
he said,
Yeah.
stop the bus. The further down you go, the harder it is to get out of it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of relate.
That one was a big one too. There was just so much that it was like, I think for me, not that he gave me permission, but he showed me that like, it's okay to not be for everybody, Elisa. And it's okay to not, like, you need to do what's best for you. And that doesn't mean it in a selfish way. He meant it in a mental way, right? Like if it's tearing you down and you know it's wrong, address it. Give it that time, but address it with love. And it's okay that people are not always for you and you're not always for people. It doesn't mean that you're bad or they're bad. It's just, it was the intention, right? If they did it with bad intention, then they are in the wrong.
Yeah.
But if you know you're doing what you're doing with great intention every time, then there's no guilt on your end. Sever those ties, because you can't change people who don't want the uncomfort. Like, I don't enjoy being uncomfortable, but I'm willing to do it to grow and to change who I am. But I can't project the fact that I'm okay with change onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Not everybody is willing to accept change, or, you know, it's
Not
uncomfortable.
everyone's 100%. It looks the same.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was the other thing. The one thing for me that's a really huge win was address it within that 24 hours.
Yeah.
Address it with love and address it. And if you don't address it within that 24 hours, then be okay with the fact that you're going to have resentment with whatever decision you have. So it's either like, even Aaron had to tell me there was a situation where I received an email and I was like, whoa, this email's freaking me out. Like, what does he mean by it? And I was in New York and Aaron was like, okay, well, like Johnny said, you've got 24 hours to reply
Address it or let it go.
address it or let it go. And I was like, you're right. But I wanted to make sure that I addressed that email with love. And it was like, hey, I was very clear. I was like, hey, just wanted to let you know that this email kind of freaked me out. Is this what you meant? Is this not what you meant?
Just getting clarity on it all.
Getting
yeah.
clarity.
That was it. And then it was like, he's like, hey, I got a minute to talk. Do you want to talk? We chatted.
Cleared it up.
It was
She
cleared.
good.
I was like, cool, proceed.
Yeah.
But it was like, now, had I not done that, that would have stewed for months and months and months.
Yeah.
And that little sister Barbara would have been like, nee, 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 you know, talking to me this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I addressed it and I checked it off my list. And that's something that it's like, he said it so much nicer, but it's my saying that I've always said for a lot of years, get into it or get over it.
Yeah.
But those are your options.
Yeah.
But obviously he said it in like you said, he had a way with words.
Yeah.
His was basically like,
Just
either
communicate in a
address it,
healthy
24
tone.
hours
yeah.
or
or
let it
you
go.
have to let it go and
Yeah.
accept whatever
The outcome
resentment
is, yeah.
you're
Yeah,
gonna have.
address it or accept it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's kind of one of the questions as part of this one is, how have you applied any things to your personal life and how, right? Because we could talk about the business stuff, but how have you applied it to your personal life and benefited from it? Because we have done that. All right, address it or let it go.
Yeah.
Address it or accept it, right?
Big
and
one that
that's
I've
a
been
big one.
applying regularly is what you permit, you promote.
Yeah.
On the regular every single day, because I mean, we're human. We want to just like take the easy route sometimes. So difficult conversations, whether it's at home or in the workplace or whatever, it's like, oh, sweep it under the rug. I don't have the energy for it right now. What you permit, you promote. So then it's like, okay, are we sweeping it under the rug or are we going to address it and say your truth? Obviously, lead with love, lead with, kindness, and know why you're having that conversation. But it's like, shake out those rugs. Like, no, because the minute that you're allowing it to happen, you're saying that you're okay 100% with that, and you're going to stand at the rooftops and promote that.
Which is pretty big for a parent.
It really
Right.
is. Yeah, there's a lot to shake out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is pretty big for a parent.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But I've applied that one regularly, and yeah, it's starting up some fun conversations at home with friends, everything. But nothing bad. It's just kind of getting on the same page.
Yeah.
And if we can't get on the same page, where do we go from here? If we can, great. 9 times out of 10, there's just wild assumptions going on in the head. And what does he
Little
say?
sister
Quiet the
Barbara,
noise.
yeah.
Quiet the noise. Like, take a beat and just address it. Yeah.
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 As he said, thinking is the killer of life.
Yeah.
Like,
You just
Like
overthink it.
overthinking, yeah.
To have a thought leads to dreams, but thinking is the dream killer or something like that, he said.
Something like
And I was
that, yeah.
And it's the
It's
overthinking.
basically like if you're just thinking about it, but there's no actions, that's what kills anything, right? It's
Yeah.
going to kill your dreams. It can kill your relationships. It can kill.
Your
and when I
mood, your
say
mindset,
relationships,
yeah.
I don't just mean you and your significant other.
Friendships,
It's
everything.
friendships. It's relationships with siblings. It's relationships with family members of all different kinds. But most importantly, it's all relationships,
Yeah.
colleagues, your friendships, everything. Because truth is, if you just overthink things and you're not clear about them, and I know sometimes people have a tendency to feel like, oh, clarity, like, oh, she's aggressive. No, it's just called conversation.
yeah.
And sometimes that conversation's uncomfortable for you, but like Johnny said, their inner isn't your inner, and that projection might not be yours.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not feeling good about themselves and you come at them with a level 10 high conversation, they're going to feel like you're attacking them out of 10. But
Yeah.
it's not that you're attacking them out of 10. It's that you're confident
You're looking
in who
for
you
clarity. Yeah.
are, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the other thing that I've been probably working on the most in my career is knowing my worth and understanding that I don't have to chase people. I don't have to, it's not like some people say, oh, you attract certain things. It's like, no, you either want to be a part of my life or you don't. And I'm
Yeah.
okay if you don't. I can meet you wherever you feel is the most for you, but I'm not giving you any more than what is being given to me, because why?
Like matched energy without resentment, though. It's
With
like
love,
just
with total love. Like,
yeah.
I am okay that you can only give me a 2 out of friendship because you've got too much going on in your life right now. If you want a 10 out of friendship, I'm here. But just know you need to be ready if you want to have those 10 conversations.
Yeah.
And that goes with everything in my life, right? Like, not just my career as a salon owner, but my career with Redken, my career behind the chair. It's like also where Johnny says, be where you are. that was huge for me because
I bet.
for me, when
I'm
I'm
your sister. I
home,
could say that.
I'm answering Instagram messages. I'm answering text messages.
Nonstop, yeah.
When I'm with Redken, I'm answering Salon messages. So it's like everywhere I am, it's like all just shambled. And lately, I'm like, no, I'm here to better myself with this career. I'm not going to respond to these text messages. And why? Because there are other outlets.
Yeah.
They can call the salon. They can call and text me. I mean, I'm literally so accessible that waiting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel like I give everyone that's around me or in my life so much grace that they have to just give that grace during this change.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that it's okay. You may lose some people when you're changing, but that's what change is about.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been very inspirational. It's crazy that I'm actually applying all this stuff because normally, I hate to say it, this isn't my first time hearing a lot of the things that he said because we do hear it repetitively in the Redken world. Like,
I took
quiet
his
your
class,
little voice.
what, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
8 years ago, I took his class. And I mean, taking it again, you would think like, oh, I've heard this before. And there were some things that were, I remember him saying them, but you forget. Life gets busy and you don't remember to like stop and take care of your mindset and, you know, self-care. So revisiting his class 8 years later was just as impactful as it was the first time around. I actually think I was more open-minded this time around because 8 years ago, life was just a little more chaotic and I couldn't really open myself completely, even though I still like learned from his class. This time I came completely just like, all right, let's hear it, you know, and ready for it. So,
Well, speaking of, he does talk about taking care of yourself, and if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others.
absolutely.
That was kind of big for me.
That's huge in our industry too. But that's like literally all we do is take care of people like,
Yeah.
all day long.
Yep.
And so when we go home and we're just like empty, you know, we need a refill. We need to take moments for ourselves to regroup and be able to come back the next day and do
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah. How do you guys think all these takeaways affect the salon?
Oh, the energy is
Yeah.
it's there.
Night and day.
It's so positive.
It was perfect timing, right? Like if it happened last year, I don't think we would have saw it the same way because things were just happening so quickly and so well overall, right? But with the holidays and other changes, like it was perfect timing to stop and hit the reset button. And I just felt like everything happens for a reason. The older I get, the more I believe it. And Johnny was just like the perfect time. And not just for work, it was also for home stuff. A lot of stuff going on at home. It's like, and that's why when Elisa said, hey, this guy's going to come in, I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I said, this is awesome. This is something we could all take. It's too bad Vianney
I know.
didn't get to
Oh,
hear
we
it,
miss
but-
her.
It was
I know.
nice, like everyone like being together and like we all like kind of got emotional. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, there was a lot of tears.
There's a lot.
of
I don't think
tears.
anybody didn't. I don't think
Yeah.
there was one dry eye.
like
Well-
it brought
Yeah.
us closer in a way.
And that's
the salon.
Definitely.
and so speaking of like and so when I ask this question, you have to embellish because people won't know what the activity was. But what activity did you guys remember from it? They're like, that was such a great activity, but you have to briefly explain it so people
Okay.
watching.
I
know
would
what it
say the one where we all got in a circle. We all got these little note cards and we put our names on it, and then we just kept
Yeah, that was
passing it
good.
around until your card came back to you. And I feel like that's the one.
Like, so
that
the card, you would
impacted-
write your name, then it would start here. And
Yeah.
then it's, okay, write something nice.
Each person had
Yeah,
to write
right.
one word
And then
or
it would
something.
pass to me, then I'll write something
Something,
nice
yeah.
about Larissa, and then it passes to you, then
Well,
you write
and he
something.
didn't even guide us to write something nice. He just said, "What do you think of when you see this person?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were all just like in a open place to just be really honest of like, what do you think of when you see Larissa? You know, and you have her card and you look at her name and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, fire, whatever.
And it was so
boss.
easy
Like,
for just about everyone. It was
that's
so
what he said.
natural
He was
and it
like, this
easy.
is moving quick. You guys like,
Yeah.
no.
I think though in general we are, and I'm not tooting my own horn, people. This isn't me like speaking out of arrogance. I work very hard on keeping the culture as tight knit as I can because I've been in a toxic environment. I know what it's like to work in a salon where toxicity is the environment. So I do protect this environment and its Serenity vibe to the fullest. And to see everybody's cards, like, just it was fast for everybody, and that made me realize, like, this is what you're fighting for.
Yeah.
This is when you go home and you're tired and you're just like, oh, I'm so done. This is it. I don't care, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to anybody. Like, I don't care what other salon vibes going on. I really don't. I just care about my babies here. And of course, you know, the ones that have left on really amazing terms that you can come back. Like, of course, Vianney. You know, Vianney, Emilia, yeah. You know, those we would welcome them back because they're part of our family. Yeah. They've made those imprints. But I think that's why it came so natural for us to be able to write one word and be able to sum everybody up. And you never really know what your family thinks of you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But reading those cards was like, oh,
yeah,
shit.
Oh, and I said when Johnny was like, so what is the first thing that you guys were thinking? It's like, we give ourselves, you know, on the drive to work or whatever, I have a million Pinterest quotes and sayings and things that you repeat and recite to yourself. But it's so different when you have a group of respected colleagues that you're just like, you respect the heck out of them, and they're like putting you on a pedestal of like how amazing you are. There was not a dry eye, not even Aaron. Tough guy.
That's inaccurate.
No, it was amazing. And I really liked the exercise that we did where he had us stand like in front of each other and we kind of went down and in a line and kind of like rotated.
So it'd be line A and B, right?
Line A and B, yes.
And then we would say, he would have us say, what
line
is that?
A would say, I'm so glad you're here. I've got your back.
And then the other person
And then line
repeats
B
it.
would say, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I got your back.
Then they would hug each other.
And then we would hug it out,
And then everyone
high
would
five
move
it,
to the
whatever,
side.
and then keep going.
Keep going down, yeah.
And what I loved about that is like, how many times do we work together, but we're so busy and we don't have time to just like look at each other and be like, hey girl, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
But it just like,
We should hug more.
oh, we should hug more. Huh? But I feel like it just set the tone for connection and just to look at each other. Even my own sister.
So glad you're here and I've got your back.
I'm so glad you're here. I've got your back.
I've been here since your first interview.
That would make Johnny proud right there.
Just so you know, Larissa interviewed twice here.
Yeah.
First time she had to think about it. But the point is,
we are so glad you're here. And
we
got
are
your
very
back.
glad
And we got
she's
your back.
here, and we do have her back because she brings a lot of joy to the salon. It's like each
Yeah.
person is so unique here, and I always say like we have so much personalities here, but I wouldn't change any of them. The ones that are here right now, I wouldn't change any of them.
And I think that's kind of like a cool thing to talk about real briefly too. If we end up playing this in the waiting area, but one of the biggest things that separate us is because it's employee based. We're all employees, right?
Yeah.
And so because we're employee based, we are, in truer sense of the word, a team. We all work together, right? Where most salons, and I'm not knocking it, that's just their business model, it's just not ours, is they're individual renters and everyone's kind of doing their own thing, right? They come and go as they please. They basically run their own business and they split. Where here, it's like we see everyone's schedule, we work together, we do activities together.
Yeah.
And I think it does really show in customer service. Do we get it right 100% of the time? No, but I like
Does
to
anyone?
think 99. No, you're right. But 99% of the time, I think we do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone's running behind, another stylist might
yeah.
style your hair, or another stylist might ring you out. It's just the bottom line is you get taken care of no matter who's helping you. So I think that's
Yeah.
really unique.
Yeah, and those exercises, it's nice to know like your
I got your
coworkers
back.
got your back.
I liked
And
how he told us. Sorry,
No,
I
go,
didn't mean to
go,
cut you
you're
off.
good.
I liked how he told us to like text people like
oh,
that.
that was so
I
good.
like
Yeah.
that. It just like it just made me like look back and like think.
Explain
about
it. What do you mean texting?
Like he said something like text someone that like you love them, like you're safe. You just
So you're just randomly texting someone, right? That was the
or
exercise.
text them another person like you're grateful or something.
Grateful for their support or something like
And
that.
then just curious what they say back because they're reading it like, "Oh, you're amazing. Thank you. I love you so much." They're like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And then they respond
my
with something
Redken boss
cool.
was like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Clearly, they don't get to see me very vulnerable often, but Tashina has seen me vulnerable more this last year than ever. She's probably like, "Okay, let's find her box again. Let's tuck her back all those emotions."
Yeah,
My
that
little
was a fun
sensitive. Yeah, it was good.
It like made me like look back, like okay, like the people I texted, it was the first people that came to my mind, you know, and it's like I'm appreciative and like I care about them, so it was nice to do that, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And they love you and they got your back.
yeah.
I think we get busy too in life that we think like our parents, our siblings, our, our inner circle know like, oh, I'm so thankful for your support and stuff. But we don't always get to stop and say that to them, or just say like, thank you for your support or whatever guidance. He had a few texts that we sent, and it could be either the same person or different people that have impacted you. And my mom was one of my texts, and she had a long old thing to say back, but I think she was kind of like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?"
Well, so, this is a good exercise. So anyone watching, just grab your phone, think of somebody that you love, that you appreciate, send them a text message. "Hey, just thinking of you. I love you. I want you to know everything's okay. I appreciate everything you do," and just see what they respond back. It's really
it's so
unique.
good. Yeah.
I think
very
it's
cool.
just the surprise that like at that moment you're thinking of them, right?
Yeah.
My family wasn't surprised at all, actually. Like, I was expecting them to be like, "Are you okay?" But none of them did. They actually, like, sent back, like, a text.
Oh,
And I was like,
perfect.
"Oh, they think I'm nice." No, I'm just like,
Funny.
The love is contagious.
Yeah.
Through the text.
Seriously, it is. I mean, you could tell, especially when it's randomly. Oh, that was nice.
Absolutely.
I even text Larry, and I'm sure he was thinking, "Why did she put me in this text
What'd you
message?"
text him?
I text him and Tashina at the same time. So
Did he respond?
he did respond the next day,
okay.
and he did. Him and Tashina, but Tashina was a little more worried. Larry's seen me so
He's just a
emotional.
dude, yeah.
Larry's also seen me cry like every Zoom call when we first.
Just crying every time.
I was like quitting every single meeting. Poor Larry. I literally was like, "This isn't for me. They don't listen." He's like,
What is going on?
they don't listen.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
yeah.
I can see that. Is that you? You don't.
I don't cry anymore. I don't cry anymore, huh?
No. You're not going to
No.
cry in front of Amber.
Amber's probably going to be like, "Elisa, suck it
together.
up, girl.
Yeah.
Get it together." But Amber's the
Amber.
Elisa, like, Elise, yeah. Larry was perfect for when we first opened. I needed Larry.
But Amber's where you want to get to where she's just like
Amber's
stone cold.
totally, like, not that she's stone cold. She's just
Well,
very
what'd she
matter
say?
of fact. Like, she's not
Using
going
her own
to.
words.
Larry, like, one, he's a guy, and I'm still a girl. I know that shocks people, like, that I am just a girl sometimes. But Larry would, like, "It's okay. That's growth. You're going to be okay." Where Amber's just going to kind of, like, let me have my moment, and she's going to be like, "Okay, so
This is
we're
what we
going
need
to,
to
like,
do."
this." She's like the Elisa, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Are you done crying?"
Yeah.
"Okay, cool. Now let's get to the, like," and that's how Amber is now. So,
Amber is where we're going to get Elisa in a couple more years. She's
Yeah.
getting closer.
oh, yeah.
She's getting closer.
Even just the last 2 chats with her, it's been like,
Yeah.
We love it.
All right. So looking back at the event, what's something that stuck out? Like something memorable? I'll go first. I think the setup was amazing.
Oh,
By now,
that was
they'll
so
see
good.
pictures, right?
Yeah.
The setup was really cool. You did a really good job.
Yes. Thank you.
When
It
things
looked
come
so
out of his
pretty in
head,
here.
it's pretty amazing, right? It looked
Yeah.
like a wedding.
It did.
It
I had a
looked like a
client
wedding.
ask that. She's like, "Did a wedding happen here?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"No, but it was so
Yeah.
pretty."
I think
Yeah.
that it was. We married ourselves for the first time. Like, we all fell in love with ourselves for
Yeah.
the first time in a
It
very
was
long
Sobfest
time.
2025.
It was.
It was. It was.
We
it
all
was
needed a
great
good
opening.
cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. We were long overdue.
It was really nice setup. We just, by the time we booked Johnny and we were trying to get a venue with local and all of, like, I didn't want to skimp out on things, right? Like the venue, then it was going to be like catering. We were getting pricey. And so I was like, okay, well, first off, half the places didn't even get back to me in time. So by the time they did, it was like I had already moved on. But I knew I wanted to make it special in a different way. And
It's like,
so,
what if we do this? What if we do this? I said, make it as amazing as you want it to be.
Yeah. It was
she
beautiful.
just ran
And
with
we
it.
didn't even feel like we were at work. You know,
No.
it didn't look like
It
the
was- it
salon.
was really
Everything
cool.
was really pretty.
Yeah. And I liked,
Perfect
obviously,
setup.
we liked the whole Johnny event, but then after was pretty cool seeing everyone just hang out and
Yeah.
enjoy each other's company.
that was
Yeah.
really
I was like, that was cool,
unexpected.
too.
Like
Yeah.
for me, that was like, man, this is why I do it.
Yeah.
This
It really
is
is
why
because
I cry
in
all
her
the time. No,
perfect
just kidding.
vision, the salon is all best friends, and we go skipping together, and we go hang out, and we go to dinner every night, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not realistic.
Everybody would live in my house.
Everyone would live in her house, and you got 20 rooms, and everyone has their own bedroom, right?
I will say, if we all had the same days off, we totally would. I mean, but our schedules
we
don't
never
always
do,
work
right?
out. You
Obviously,
know?
always someone's
yeah,
always
there's
working,
always
but-
somebody. Yeah, there's always.
But it was our chance to just like hang out and just relax, and it was
Having,
cool.
Like someone there, like a motivational speaker. I feel like not a lot of people like have the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. So it was nice.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, because and we're going to get a lot of like hairstylists come in, which is going to be
Yeah.
great. You guys will learn a ton from it. But
We never
you
skip
know,
out on techniques and coloring, and yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll get another Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not going to be
Johnny's
too many.
Johnny.
Not going to be too many.
Johnny's Johnny.
Oh.
Oh yeah, speaking of that too, I had posted because I did arrive to work actually at 8:45, and I made a post and I was like, oh, because Johnny said to arrive extra early. And Lisa's like, why don't you arrive extra early when I tell you to?
Did you hear that, Johnny? She came early just because
And
you
she
said
literally said, he has a way with words. Then,
He does.
when I got to the salon, I was early, and half my team was here on time. Okay, on time. And when I say on time, that means 15 minutes early, like they're supposed to be. And I'm like thinking, really? And then let me tell you, everybody's like, he was so handsome. Oh, Johnny was so dreamy. Oh, wow. I bet he was super charming when he was 21 and da 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 da. And I'm just like, they really did just show up for Johnny. It's not
so.
even.
Hey, take it easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
That's what his wife's saying right now, huh?
Yeah, say, that's my man.
Yeah, that's my man. Take it easy, you youngins.
All right, so last part of this. Anything else that inspired you that he said? We talked about the main things. Anything else that we left out that you guys could think of?
I was gonna think of just the card game. I don't know why that just popped in my head.
Oh yeah.
The
Or the
cards
team
where
of
we
the
stacked
building.
cards.
We stacked it. We
Yeah.
didn't. We didn't do good.
The team.
But we did it together. We didn't do good together though.
That was the whole point, right? Stacking cards and building a tower as tall as you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
working as a team. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked when he said like, "What's your purpose? What's your game? What did I learn?" Or he said like the three things you should ask yourself is, "What did I learn about myself from yesterday? What is my
Oh,
intention
yeah.
today? And what's one thing I want to work on for tomorrow?" I feel like that just like sets yourself up for like little goals. Because I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people limit themselves to things, and I feel like this like, I don't know, you can really learn from it every day and. I don't know. I liked that a lot.
That's
Let me
good.
write that down.
Yeah, it's a great question to ask yourself daily, because if yesterday was a bad day, sometimes you wake up and you're still kind of in a bad mood from yesterday, you know? And it's like, if you don't shake the grumpies off and ask yourself daily, like, okay, do I want to have the same day as yesterday? Do I want to grow? Where am I at today? What's the goal for tomorrow? Then it allows you to take control of that mindset, regroup, and then you get to decide what kind of day you're going to have, you know? And I mean, I feel like and this is kind of more towards the clients. I feel like our clients think we always are just on and have phenomenal days because
No.
we're so tied into it. But yeah, once we're leaving our house and coming here, we have to do the same questions with ourselves, you know, like shake off whatever happened yesterday, or yesterday was a phenomenal day. Today's going to be even better or great. And we have to ask ourselves those same questions. So it's like, yeah, that right there, those notes are like so great for anybody to ask themselves
And we have to
on a regular.
We have to train ourselves, right?
Yeah.
To leave the stuff at home, be at home. And that's why You know, talked about if you guys open at 9, what time do you come in? Everyone's at 8:45. Doesn't mean everyone comes in at 8:45, but we all know we're supposed to. And why? To mentally prepare,
Mentally prepare
to
for
go
our
through
day.
everything.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through stuff at home. Leave it at home when you're at work. Play 100%. Do it, and then you resume back to your home stuff.
And you can even apply it in your home life, you know, like you had a bad day at home or the
Leave
kids
work
were
at
driving
work,
you
right?
crazy. Once you're walking into or pulling into your driveway or whatever, you get to make that decision daily on how you're going to attack your home life too.
Well, it does work in
And-
reverse. Leave work at work.
Absolutely.
And when you're home, be home.
Yeah.
And that's
And
the
we get
stress.
to do that because we get to clock out and just
We
go
do.
home.
We do
Yeah.
stress that. Yeah.
I mean, we definitely stress a work-life balance, which is very unique for this industry because most of the time you have, you know, that quick access to your hairstylist, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not how we roll here. We aren't just here to grow careers. We do grow people as individuals. And one thing that we stress is yeah, we do, huh?
Yeah, you see it, put a little heart.
And it is a beauty, like, you know, whether they're here or not, I can still look at every person that's mentored under me and I could be like, you could not even do hair when I met you and look at what you've blossomed into. So it's not that I'm not pouring seeds out. It's just, I know the ones that stay here, like they're going to blossom so differently. And it's because they trust the process and they trust me. And there's no way I'm ever, if I won't let myself fail, what makes anybody think I'm going to let them fail?
Yeah.
Like if you're in my care, I won't even let myself fail. And that there's way more room for me to just fail and be like, oh, I quit this, I quit that.
You just have to be open-minded and
Yeah.
drop the excuses.
Well, and not everybody wants
am
to
proof
drop
of that.
excuses, right? Because excuses keep cushion for me not having to be vulnerable
Or accountable, yeah.
or accountable.
Yeah.
And here, that's the nice thing is they are able to just leave work here and go, but that's because they trust the process. They know whatever Summit has to offer, we're implementing it from front to back. And I was just at another training and there was a couple of owners and they're like, there's no way we're giving our staff a 401k with a 3% match. Like there's just no way. And it's like, of course, sure, I don't have to do that. There's nothing that says I have to do that. There's nothing that says I have to pay them, holiday
vacation.
pay, vacation pay. But it's like, I know I would have appreciated it, and that's why I do it, because I know what I would have appreciated. And I know my riches don't come from man. My riches come from my Father upstairs. So I didn't get where I am from anything more than blessings, grace, and hard work.
Yeah.
Like
And a great clientele.
a great clientele,
Phenomenal clientele.
of course.
Yeah.
A great team, because if it's just me, it's just a building in Serenity. And then of
And you're
course,
holding shears.
Yeah.
you're
and
just
of course, like there's so many things, but all of those things, like my husband leaving his career to come and join us, like that's a leap of faith. And, look at where we've gotten now with him leaving his career. Like
Are you regretting it yet? No. Blink,
little sad.
I'm blinking.
Blink
I'm
if you
blinking.
need help.
Picked up
That's a whole lot of blinks.
that's for
He's
sure.
gotten awfully sassy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he fights back now.
Because this one right
accurate.
here.
Between her and however many girls there are here, he's like, yeah.
Any final words? Any
Yeah,
final
I would
words?
just tell people like growth is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's worth
Growth is uncomfortable.
So is accountability.
it. Yes.
Change is uncomfortable.
Take it easy.
Just take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Quiet the noise.
That's from Johnny.
Yeah.
Remember
Quiet
why
the
you do
noise.
it.
Tell your little voice, I've got you. I've got your back, and you're going to ride this wave with me, because that little voice is a little child inside of you somewhere that's been broken by somebody else. So
Yeah.
let that little child in you know that it's going to be okay, because you've got them, right? And you're going to take them to that next level. So just be okay with change, because whether it's bad change, good change, in the sense of like, we might think, oh, this isn't good for us, but just know that God's got a bigger plan. Like
trust the
nothing,
process.
trust
Trust
the
the process.
process. Yes, trust the process.
And surround yourself with like-minded people.
That's huge.
That's big.
That is
big.
literally the culture here. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because I know that there is not one person in this salon, whether it's personal stuff or work stuff, that wouldn't answer if I needed to chat it out and if I needed to, talk about something that happened. Surround yourself with people that are in the same mindset or headed in the same direction, let's say, where they want to grow, they want to continue to stay on the up and up with you, and they want to leave the negative behind and just be positive and enjoy life to the fullest, because negativity will always be a lot louder than positivity if you let it. And you just got to quiet that down and surround yourself with people that are ready to embrace it all.
Well, it's true, because I was listening to a podcast as we wrap it up here, but I was listening to a podcast and he was talking about if you're attending a class, essentially a class, right?
Yeah.
You want to sit with people who want to learn and want to move forward, because you're going to absorb a lot of it by sitting with those people versus the people that aren't paying attention. You're going to go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So it just taps into what you're saying.
And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you're not gonna.
No.
I mean, we're human. We're all human. No one here is perfect. But the grace
I
that
don't
you
always
have
say the
for
right
the
thing at the right
process,
time.
just having a ton of grace for the process of change, and finding your people that are they're gonna have grace for you just as much as you have for them. It's huge, because there's zero judgment and they're literally just there to be like a healthy, positive impact in your life.
Yeah.
I feel like we reflect off of each other. Like everyone reflects. Like
Yeah.
if you
That's the beauty of having a team.
And that is a huge thing to point out, Amelia, because, I used to always say, like, if you walked into a business and it's got a certain atmosphere, it stems from the owner. And I still believe that. Like, I was just pointing out one of my friends' salons, like, they're very chill, they're very submissive, they're very calm in her salon. And I was like, well, but they reflect her. And then mine are over here like, nope, nope, I'm not clocking in. And I'm like,
Spicy. We're spicy.
the
Super
spice
spicy.
that's here also reflects their owner. Their owner is like allspice,
Yeah.
Allspice.
Spice, baby.
We got
Spice,
we got
baby.
Serenity Spice. Serenity Spice up in here.
It is real though, right? Like,
It is.
so just know, like, when you walk into that atmosphere and it is very caring, genuine, and giving, it's because it does stem from it starts from the bottom up, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that Johnny even told me that I was like, it was very empowering for me was, Elisa, you're at the top of the mountain, and a lot of times the people on the bottom, what did he say, babe? That
Want to tear you down?
there's a lot more people at the bottom who want to be critical of who you are and what you do. But it's because you're so high up on that mountain.
It's easier to sit below and judge.
Absolutely. Well, it's easier because
Instead
there's
of
a lot
climb that
more.
mountain and try harder,
Well, but there's
you
a
know?
lot more people to rally up with me at the bottom.
Absolutely.
And one of my girlfriends had sent me a really nice message, and Brittany, and she had said, at the top of the flagpole, the wind waves, like the wind blows
harder,
a little
yeah.
bit harder. So just hang in there, kind of thing. And it was just like, those are the things, right? Like you said, be with like-minded people that are going to
Absolutely.
cheer you on, because it is not being an owner of, and I love my team. I wouldn't trade any of them.
Yeah.
But like, they're strong-willed women, and I wouldn't want them any other way. I want them to know their worth now and not 20 years from now. Now, let's not get ego confused with confidence, because I stress those things in my salon all the time. Be confident in who you are. It's okay to say,
We are all
I
very
did
confident.
all of these things in my life. It is okay to say, like, I mean, I'm an open book. Those of you that know me, you can ask me anything, and I'm probably too open of a book. But
Same.
but you know where you always stand with me, right? And of course, I'll give you your distance if you need that. Like, I match your friendship or your energy, if you will. But overall, it's like, we are strong-willed women, and I encourage that, because I know what it was like to be in an unhealthy marriage for a very long time and having my soul broken. I know what it was like to have false friendships and realize that at a much older age. And I don't want anybody to go through that. So I want them to be even wiser than me. So when I say I don't just grow careers, I grow very strong, independent women. And sometimes, we got to break them down a little bit to build them back up. But I'm here for all of that. I'm here to hold them. I'm here when they need that phone call to cry. And if it's not easy because sometimes you're there for people and, excuse my language, they turn around and they shit on you. But that's just part of who I am. But I'm confident in who I am, and I don't let their lack of integrity tear down my integrity. And so with that, I teach that to my staff all the time. Don't meet them where they're at. Finish with class. Let them be. Do I have other words for them sometimes? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's finished with class, and we just don't entertain the circus.
Yeah, that's what I mean by you don't have to be perfect to make small changes daily will literally change your life. Change your mindset, change your life, right? And it's the smallest changes of just choosing to be positive and surround yourself with like-minded people that are chasing the same dream as you in some sense, and have grace because we are all out here just figuring it out together.
Just trying to make it.
And I always say to my staff is, don't take advice from somebody that's doing the same as you or less than you. Just don't.
Yeah.
No.
You'll always hear people want you to win. People want you to do good, but they never want you to do better than them. Because that's just the reality. Jealousy, unfortunately, is just a part of society, right? It's just a part of our human nature. It's something that we all have to fight, right? But there's a way that you could be healthy jealous.
Yeah.
Like with my friend's shoes all the time. Renee. I tell her her shoes.
Best shoes.
Yeah, she does.
All right. So this podcast is brought to you by our Serenity tumbler. We sell them for $39. So if you want one, come in and pick one up. And they're also sponsored by our nifty Serenity sweaters. So you can also support.
Come get your swag.
Yeah, you could also support us that way as well. So if you need to make an appointment, give us a call, 209-833-6711. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We really appreciate it. We hope you learned at least a little something in this. And if this is playing in the waiting room, if you need something, let us know. And we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
And I'm like, take it easy, it's not the way it's supposed to be.